Good evening or good afternoon, everybody, I should say. I'm so used to the evening, but happy Monday. If it's your lunch break, hopefully you are able to catch a game of Strat-O-Matic during your lunch break. We have the second game on the May 10th docket, and it's a small milestone, but a milestone nonetheless. This is game number 200 that we've played in the replay. So, like I said, small steps to get to large destinations, but 200 is a small benchmark we can note. And it's the Minnesota Twins taking on the New York Yankees. Two teams have split their previous two games of the series. This game is played on Sunday, May the 10th. So on Friday night, the Twins lost to the Yankees by the score of 5-2 as Tommy John got the win. Guante got the save. And they outslugged the Twins 5-2, 13 hits to 6 hits. But in the second game of the series on Saturday night, Twins came back and won it 4-3. They were down 1-0, scored 4 in the the top of the third. A 2-run homer from Nieto and a 2-run homer from Gaetti made a loser of Rasmussen. Les Moonstraker got the win. Reardon got the save. I accidentally used Guante 4 innings in this game, so obviously the last 2 days, Guante's went 6 innings. He is definitely unavailable for this game. But it is the rubber game of the series as each team has won a game. But Guante is definitely unavailable. Since it's a Sunday, so one of the starters, at least for the Yankees, is getting the day off, and that is Dave Winfield. He is on the roster, available to pinch hit and come in later on, but Sundays, typically, a lot of times, managers will give some of their better players a day off on a Sunday day game after a Saturday night game. So that's the reason why Dan Pasqua's in right field and Gary Ward's in left, and Winfield is sitting over there on the bench. Hello, Ben. I feel you because I'm going to be going through that project now, especially old clothes that I've just kept around and haven't worn in 10 years. Closets full of them. So I will be doing, it's not spring anymore, it's more in the summertime, but it'll be summer cleaning instead of spring cleaning. So I feel your pain, as Bill Clinton used to say. Hello, Rick. Good to see you as well. And as I do many, many times when I get ready to start a stream, I have everything ready except for one thing. And that one thing today was dice. I didn't bring the dice out. So kind of need those, don't we? So let's get those dice out here and see if we can't get everything going. The dice tray is completely empty. Now we got dice and we can go. All right, so Charles Hudson is on the mound for the Yankees, and he has really turned it on in this replay. He is 4-0, and his ERA is 2.73. 33 innings pitched, 24 hits, 11 walks, 28 strikeouts. Real world, he was 11-7 with a 3.61 ERA, so he's definitely done better than his yearly stats. But again, long way to go for Hudson. He's got a lot more starts to make. And leading things off for the Twins will be Al Newman, switch hitting second baseman for the Twins. Newman hitting .254, no homers, 6 runs driven in. Before I forget, Yankee Stadium singles are 1-7 for both. Home runs are 1-9 for lefties, 1-8 for righties. Holds are drastically different. Hudson and the catcher Cerrone combined for a -3, whereas Smithson's a +7, and then Salas is a +2 for a +9. But of course, +5 is all you can have. But Ricky Henderson should have himself a field day against the Twins not being able to hold runners on. Now we're underway from Yankee Stadium, 1-7. That's a ground ball to third, Pagliarulo right on top of it. And he will make the play, one away. And hopefully, since we're doing this at noon, hopefully we don't have any circles in the sand. I like Belinda Carlisle, but not when I'm playing Strat. Here's Randy Bush, and Bush hitting 227, 2 homers, 9 driven in. 4-3 to the lefty is a fly ball left field X. That is Gary Ward. He's a 3-0-6. 3-0 arm and an E6. 3 and a 7. 3 and a 7. I'm thinking he should get to this, but we will see. 3 and a 7. He barely does an F1. He barely gets to it, but that's all that counts. He is an E6 in left field. He's got to avoid 3, 4, 14, 17, and 18. And that is a 13. So he barely does it, but he does make the play. It wasn't pretty, but he makes the catch. The out is recorded, and that's all that counts. 2 away. And that'll bring up Kirby Puckett, center fielder. Puckett on the replay hitting 314, 4 homers, 11 driven in. He hit 332 real world. That's a 5-4, and that's an in-home run chance 1-14, but that's a 15. So instead it will be a double for Kirby Puckett. He just missed the home run. He will settle in air quotes for a double. Look at it again, a 5-4, right-handed. It's an in-home run 1-14, and the double die is a 15 this time. So Puckett is on second base with 2 outs. Clutch situation for Kent Hrbek. Hrbek on the replay hitting 306, 10 home runs, 26 driven in. And in the clutch situation, he gains a hit on 112. And everywhere else, he is neutral. So the first havoc roll with the base runner. Nothing happening. Hudson, 3-5 to Hrbek, and that is a walk. Boy, 3-6 would have been a straight-up home run, but 3-5 is going to be a walk instead. So he pitched carefully to Hrbek, and too carefully, as a matter of fact, puts him on. And that brings up G-Man, Gary Gaetti, hitting 267 on the replay. 5 homers, 23 driven in, hit 257 real world. In the clutch for Gaetti, he is anti-clutch on 3-9 and 3-10. He will lose hits. So keep an eye on that. 3-9 and 3-10, he loses hits. But that's a 6-6, and that is a 1-8 single. Anything else he lines to short, that's a 14. So he lines it right to Tollison, and Mr. Hudson gets out of the mini jam he was in unscathed. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is Twins nothing, Yankees coming to bat. And right-hander Mike Smithson is on the mound for the Twins in this one. Smithson on the replay, 1-3, a 4.75 earned run average, but his ERA in real world was 5.94, so he's actually doing a little bit better. He's gone 36 innings, 40 hits, 13 walks, and 19 strikeouts. And, of course, Ricky Henderson, the leadoff man, hitting 324, 5 homers, 14 driven in. He hit 291 real world. He has stolen 8 bases on the replay, stole 41 real world, but with that +5, he's licking his chops. But he got to get on first. 2-11. Ballpark single check. 1-7. That's an 11. It will fail. So it's a ground ball to short. 1 away. So Gagne takes care of him. Here's Willie Randolph, second. Hello, Joel. Willie Randolph hitting 333. No homers, 15 driven in. He hit 305 real world. 6-3 is a ground ball pitcher X. Smithson is a 3-E-0. So we know he's not going to make an error, but the 3 is going to be critical to see if it's a double play or not, or a fielder's choice or whatever. So we're checking the 3 on the pitcher right here. 1, 2, or 3, it's a single. Anything else is an out, but what kind of out would it be? It's a 19. It's a G1, so that's going to be a double play. Smithson turns a double play. I'm sorry, it's not a double play. Nobody's out, or nobody's on. My bad. It would have been a double play, just a ground out. And there's 2 away. Was thinking Henderson was on base for whatever reason. Hello, Scooney. Good to see you. Here is Don Mattingly. And now on the East Coast, it's actually afternoon, but good morning to you if you're on anywhere other than the West Coast, or other than the East Coast, I should say. So Don Mattingly, he is the thumbnail boy for this game. Hitting 299 on the replay, 3 homers, 16 driven in. He had 327 on the replay real world. That's a 5-6 left-handed. That's a ballpark blast. It's going to be a 1-9, but that's a 17. So just a deep fly to right, and Smithson gets out of the mess with no damage done. Avoids the long ball. in the park and puts the Yankees away 1-2-3. We go to the top of the second, no score. Yep, here in Virginia, we're looking at 3 consecutive days starting today of 100-degree temperatures with heat indexes, or heat indices, I guess is the proper term for it, between 105 and 109. I think it's going to cool down on Thursday to 98, but don't hold me to it. All right, here is Roy Smalley, the designated hitter. He's hitting 258, no homers, 12 driven in at 275 real world. 5-7, switch hitter batting left is a ground ball second base X, Willie Randolph, 2E17. 2 and a 16, he'll get to that. E17 is the only question mark for a second baseman. And 6-15, 3 and 18. Those are the numbers to avoid. And that is a 16. And he was a, what was he? He was an E17. So there's a 15, but no 16 there. So it's a good play for Lee Randolph. And he takes care of Smalley. 1 down. And that brings up Brunansky. Tom Brunansky, left fielder, hitting 276 on the replay. 3 homers, 10 driven in. He had 259 real world. Hello, Kenyon. 4-8, right-hander to right-hander is a strikeout. So Charles Hudson, his first strikeout of the ball game. 2 away from catcher Mark Salas, left-handed hitting catcher. Has not played all that much. He's had 22 at-bats. He's hitting 227. A homer and 5 driven in. He had 250 real world. 5-8, and that is another strikeout for Charles Hudson to end the inning. So a couple of Ks on the board and nothing doing for the Twins. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Coming up for the Yankees, it'll be Mr. Pasqua, followed by Ward and Washington. Pasqua on the replay. Struggling at a $188, 5 homers, 12 driven in. He hit 233 real world. 6-6, and that's going to be a double to right field. So good start there for Pasqua as he doubles off of Smithson. And again, only pitcher in the bullpen unavailable for the Yankees is Hudson. He's been way overworked. So I'm sorry, not Hudson, Guante. So everybody else in the bullpen is rested and available. Just Guante can't go. Here's Gary Ward, strategy roll or havoc roll, nothing going on. Ward hitting 224 on the replay, a homer and 10 driven in. Hit 248 real world. 6-11, and that's a ground ball first base X. First baseman, Herbeck, is a 2E6. He wasn't holding anybody on, so he keeps his 2. 2 and a 6. Should be okay, I would think. 2 and a 6, yep. There's a pound there, but he's not responsible for holding any runners, so he will get to that. Going to third will be Pasqua automatically on the ground ball to the right side. Now it's just a matter of an error check. And Herbeck is a 6, so 3, 13, and 18 have to be avoided. And they are. So it's a good play. It's going to go 3-1 as he flips to Smithson covering. And Pasqua takes third base with only 1 out. Now the Twins are going to bring the infield in just in case. They don't want to give up a cheap run. And Claudell Washington, the designated hitter, is your batter. Yeah, Kenny, it's a long way to go. Like I said, it's a mini milestone, number 200. But, yeah, it's about 900 or so to go, I think. Didn't total them up all the way, but we're just going to play it out, and I finish when I finish. All right, here's Claudell Washington, the designated hitter, hitting 391 in just 46 at-bats. 1 homer, 11 driven in. He hit 279 real world. Infield is in for the Twins. They want to choke that runoff. It's a 1-6, and that's going to be a fly ball center field B question mark. Possible sacrifice fly. Pasqua only runs an 11. Puckett is a -4 arm. That could deter him quite severely. So the fly ball center field question mark. What you do with that basically is you take the run rating of the base runner, subtract out the arm, and then add 2. So you get 11 minus the 4 is a 7, add 2 is a 9. So you got a safe range of 1 to 9. Anything else, he's going to be out. So they will hold him there. That ball is just not quite deep enough. They don't want to take the 25% chance or whatever it turns out to be. So they're going to leave it up to Pagliarulo to try to bring home the run from third base. They don't want to mess with Puckett's arm. So 2 down. Here's Pagliarulo in a clutch situation. He's hitting 261 on the replay, 8 homers, 18 driven in. He only had 234 real world, so he's doing quite well for himself. In the clutch, he actually gains a hit, 1-6. He will gain a clutch hit. But that column 3 against righties looks juicy. And he got the 3, but he got a bad number. No, he didn't. He got a ballpark blast check. But yeah, 19 is a bad number, so it's just going to be a deep fly to right. And the Yankees don't score it. So they get the double, get the man to third, but can't get him in. Had we had that fly ball up here for Washington, that would have been a sac fly, but not in this case. 2 outs were already on the board. So we go to the third, no score. Greg Gagne will lead things off. 2 homers, 10 driven in, 324 average for Gagne on the replay. He hit 265 real world. Hudson, 110 to Gagne, and that's a ballpark single check, 1-7, but that's an 11. Going to ground it to Tollison, and there's 1 away. 1 down, flip the order back over to Newman. He grounded to Pagliarulo his first time up. 4-5, switch hitter is a fly to center, and Ricky is right there. 2 down for Randy Bird-in-the-Hand Bush. He flew to left field his first time up. 3-8 for Bush, and he's going to draw a base on balls. A second walk now, actually, issued by Hudson. A 2-out walk might not hurt him too bad. Bush could get a chance to steal, but Hudson is a -3 when you combine him with Cerrone. So if he got the lead, it would be a 1-12, but I still think that's worth the gamble. 4 or a 6. That's a 6. He gets the lead. So Randy Bush is going to steal it, or at least attempt it. 17 being held makes him a 15, minus the 3 is a 12. 1-12, still a 60% chance he's going to try to steal. And he's got caught stealing. So Cerrone throws him out. Trying to get in scoring position for Puckett. Probably not a bad move with a 60% chance. It's just a better throw by Cerrone. And Bush is out of there. So Puckett will lead off the top of the 4th. But nothing doing for the Twins. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Still no score. And bottom of the order coming up for the Yankees, Wayne Tollison, shortstop. And Tollison on the replay hitting a .191. 2 homers, 12 driven in. He only hit 221 real world. It's a 1-4, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-7, but that's an 11. So he grounds it right back to Smithson for out number 1. 1 down for Cerrone, the catcher. Rick Cerrone, limited duties, 31 at bats. He's hitting 290, a homer and 6 driven in. Hit 243 real world. 8 is a walk. So that's the first walk issued by Smithson. Hudson's issued 2. That's the first one given up by Smithson. Kenny, let's go by feeling more than anything else, just feeling. But yeah, it's got to be at least 50%. I'm not going to steal if the guy has less than 50% chance. 50% is pretty much my cutoff. But it also depends on the situation. Like in this case, runner at first and 2 outs to get him in scoring position is huge. So I might take a little bit more of a gamble to try to get him there. But usually 50% is my definite cutoff. Don't really like to do it below 60%, but it all depends on base running situations. All right, so here is Ricky Henderson with Cerrone at first base. It's a 6-8, and that is a line out right to Herbeck, out number 2. Getting back quickly is Cerrone to avoid the double play. And there is 2 away for Willie Randolph. One 7, and that's a ground ball to short, and that's going to end, up here. That's going to end the inning. So 3 shutout innings for both pitchers. I was expecting more runs than this, but we still got 6 innings to go. So careful what I wish for, I guess, because we could end up with a 10-9 game when it's all said and done. But right now it's scoreless into the top of the fourth. And Charles Hudson facing Puckett, who was at the plate when Bush got caught stealing. Puckett doubled his first time up for the only Twins hit of the game so far. 3-9, and that's a fly out to center field. Ricky Henderson right there, one away. And that'll take us to Kent Hrbek, first baseman. Hrbek walked his first chance. 4-7, and that's another walk. So 2 walks in 2 plate appearances for Kent Hrbek. He will not be held. And here's Gary Gaetti, lined out to Tollison, his first chance. That's a 2-6, and that is a ground ball third base A. That's a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. Just what the doctor ordered. And that's going to do it for the Twins. So Hudson goes 4 shutout innings to start the game. Continues to lower his ERA. And now Smithson gets his chance to keep pace and hold serve. And he'll be facing the heart of the order, Mattingly, Pasqua, and Ward for the Yankees. Mattingly flew to right field his first time up. 2-7, and he will ground it to Newman at second base, one away. I gave Mattingly the thumbnail duties today. I never know when I start. Obviously I'm putting the thumbnail before the game starts, so I don't know who's going to be, if that player is going to be relevant or not. But it's kind of like doing the old Hawk Harrelson pick to click, like the White Sox telecast. So Mattingly was my pick to click. We'll see if it pans out or not. Here's Pasqua. 6-6, and that's a double to right field. I think he doubled in the exact same role last time, so maybe I should have used Pasqua. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. That'll bring up Gary Ward. 6-7, and that's a strikeout. That is the first strikeout for Smithson, but it came at a pretty good time. 2 down now, and Claudell Washington is the batter in a clutch situation. He will gain a hit on 3-6 and 3-10 and on 1-6, so he's definitely a good clutch hitter. That's a 2-7, though, and he strikes out, so he wasn't clutch there. That will end the inning, and now 4 innings are in the books with no score from the stadium. We go to the 5th. Hudson back out. We'll be facing Smalley, Brunansky, and Salas due up for the Yankees. Smalley, his first chance, grounded to Randolph. 5-12, switch hitter batting left is a ballpark blast. He has normal power. It's a 1-9. That's a 4. It is gone. Roy Smalley breaks the ice. Look at it again. 5-12 against a switch hitter batting left is a ballpark blast. For left-handed hitters in Yankee Stadium, it's a 1-9. The Devil Die is a 4. And Roy Smalley puts the Twins on the board here in the 5th inning. And for Smalley, that is home run number 1 on the season. RBI number 13. He had 8 home runs in the real world in 309 at-bats. So, first home run of the season for Smalley. Gives the Twins, hello midlife, gives the Twins a 1-0 lead. Here's Brunansky. 1-9, and that's a walk. Third walk issued by Hudson. Brunansky has a chance to steal if he would like, but he gets caught automatically on an 8 or a 12, and it would only be 50-50 if he got the lead. So they're going to not try for a lead. The Yankees will have to hold him, or else he will get the lead automatically. So he's going to have to hold him. And now here's Mark Salas. Oh, that blue die didn't go through. Let me redo that. It popped right out. Very, very strange. Let's try it again. 6-9, and that's a fly to center. That is 2 away. First time I ever had that happen, where it went in the little hole and then popped right out and came out over. It fell off of here, came down here, and rolled over here. So I didn't want to count that. It has to go through the chute to be official. Here's Gagne. Nance get first and 1 out and 1 in. 6-5, and that's a fly to Ricky Henderson in center. 2 down. And we're back to Al Newman. Newman is 0 for 2. If they got a hole this big, got to be able to put the dice in there, but sometimes you miss. 1-9 is a ground ball to second, and that's going to, whoops, wrong space up here. That's going to end the inning, but the Twins on the home run off the bat of Roy Smalley will take a 1-0 lead. I put this here by accident. Didn't mean to do that. 1-0 ball game. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, and this is the fatigue inning for Smithson. He is a fatigue of 5. So we'll start keeping track of his fatigue numbers right now. He'll be facing Pagliarulo, Tollison, and Cerrone, bottom of the order, so he might catch a break being able to face the smaller part of the order. But Pags is dangerous. Pagliarulo on the replay already has 8 home runs. He gets 32 home runs real world. That's a 5-10, and that's a ballpark blast right on cue. It's a 9, and that's a 7. So we talked about it, and there it comes. 5-10, left-hander, ballpark blast. 1-9, double dies a 7. That is home run number 9 for Mike Pagliarulo, and it ties the ball game just that quickly for the Yankees. Home run number 9, RBI number 19, and we are tied at a run apiece. And, of course, the first ding against Smithson right there. Here's Tollison. 2-10, and that is a single for Tollison. One more base runner, and Smithson will be tired all of a sudden. Tollison cannot get a lead automatically. He can get a lead on a 4 or a 6. And again, he's only a 13, but that +5 is looking awful juicy. So a 4 or a 6, and Tollison will get the lead. And he does with a 6. So Tollison's going to steal. 13 being held is an 11, but then the +5 is a 16. 1-16, and he's in there. Stolen base for Tollison. Wayne Tollison, his first stolen base of the season. He had 5 real world, but that was his first stolen base of the season. So that's probably when he got most of his stolen bases, when he had pitcher-catcher holds that were favorable for him to steal in. So stolen base number 1 for Tollison gets him in scoring position for Rick Cerrone. Tollison will not be held at second. They don't think he's going to try to steal third. Here's Cerrone. He walked his first time. 3-6, and that's a ground ball to short. So that stolen base prevented a double play. That would have been a double play otherwise. Instead, it's just a ground out to short with the runner holding. But the stolen base did prevent the double play. So sometimes you steal bases not only to, try to get in scoring position, but to take away double plays. That's a side benefit. All right, here's Ricky. Ricky is 0 for 2, hasn't left the infield yet. 1-9, he still hasn't because he draws a walk. But he can't go anywhere because Tollison's right in front of him. Second walk issued by Smithson. And now Smithson is tired. They will allow him to face Randolph, but they have the Colonel, Joe Klink, loosening the bullpen. He will come in and face Mattingly, Pasqua, and back-to-back lefties. So the Colonel, Joe Klink, who says he knows nothing, he is loosening in the bullpen. But right now, Randolph is your batter. And if we hit a dot, it will turn from an out to a hit. Smithson to Randolph. 1-10, and that is a ground ball shortstop A, so you get the double play. That walk set up the double play, and they got it. 6-4-3. That definitely helps Smithson there. He's going to be done for the day because they will bring in Klink to pitch the 6th inning. But a home run from Mike Pagliarulo has tied this score at 1 apiece after 5 innings of play. And Hudson will come out for the 6th. His fatigue inning was also the 5th, and he's given up a home run and a walk. So he's on the verge. If he's not careful, he will hit fatigue. So the Yankees will have to keep an eye on that as well. Figure out who they might want to use in their bullpen. Looks like in their bullpen that Bob Shirley, a left-hander, is loosening. But we're tied at 1 as we head to the top of the 6th. Don't know why it's got Newman up here on my computer. Something got off on my computer, and now I got to figure out what the heck happened. I typed something wrong on the computer, and I don't know what I did. So I may have to stop scoring this on the computer and just play it out and then figure out and go back in and fix it later, because I don't really feel like fixing it right now. Gagne. So we got the home run. We got the single by let's see here, Smalley. Oh, I see what I did. I forgot to put in the home run from Smalley. That's what I did. All right, so I'm going to do some, it won't take long. I'm going to do some undoing, and that's a good thing the Strat computer has, is the undo button. Since it's only 1 inning, I got to go back. I'm going to go ahead and fix this real quick before I venture on, because I really want to get this right and then be able to have the right stats. But when I hit the home run for Smalley, I forgot to put it in the computer, and that happens when you're trying to do multiple tasks. It can happen. So let's get back here. Now we are in the, let's see here. All right, now I've made it back to the top of the 5th, so now I just need to go back a couple more times to get to the at-bat of Roy Smalley. And then we can get going. And we have made it. I had put Smalley in as a walk because I'd skipped putting him in as a home run. So let's try this again. Home run from Smalley, and then a walk to Brunansky, and then fly out to center by Salas, a fly out to center by Gagne, and a ground out to second by Newman. Then Pagliarulo homers to tie the game. Single by Tollison. He steals second base. A ground out to short by Cerrone. A walk to Henderson. And then the double play off the bat of Randolph, 6-4-3 to end the inning. And now we are all caught up. Okay, so Hudson again had a 5 here. And in the 5th inning, he gave a home run and a walk. So 2 more base runners here in the 6th, and he will be tired. Randy Bush will lead things off to start the top of the 6th. We are back in play. Recap, it's 1-1 Yankees and Twins tied. For the Yankees, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. For the Twins, 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. And Hudson is your batter. Your pitcher rather. 4-8 to the lefty. And that's a walk. So another walk issued by Hudson. And now 1 more base runner, and he will hit fatigue. Bob Shirley still loosening in that bullpen. All right, here is Puckett. Puckett is 1 for 2 with the double. 5-12, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That is Tollison. Tollison, they were not holding, but it didn't matter because shortstop wouldn't be holding him anyway. He's a 3-E-22. 3-17, possible double play. 3-17 is, in fact, a G1. So we're going to Tollison's defense, E22, 6-15, 17, and 18. So if he avoids those numbers, it will be a double play. And that's a 15. He does not avoid it. It'll be an error. So instead of a double play turned by the Yankees, Tollison boots it, and they get nothing and like it. E6. Huge mistake, and Lou Piniella is just beside himself. That should have been a double play, but it turns out to be a 1-base error. It puts runners at first and second with nobody out. Don't count that against Hudson because it was an error. So here's Herbeck now. And boy, Herbeck, you know what? Herbeck, I've already did this in other videos. He cannot hit left-handed pitching very well. It's a big discrepancy, so we're going to take out Hudson right here. Hudson will be removed. He is going to go 5+ innings. But the Yankees are going to a left-hander, Bob Shirley, out of the bullpen to face Herbeck. So Bob Shirley will be on. He's got a -4 hold, so that makes it a -5. Not that the Twins are going anywhere, but that's just the way that is. So we'll go to the bench and bullpen and bring in Mr. Shirley and get his numbers on the replay. Shirley is 2-1 with 2 saves, 6.14 earned run average. He has 6.31 real world. 22 innings pitched, 23 hits, 11 walks, and 13 strikeouts. So Hudson on the hook for the loss. He can lose it. He can't win it. Best he can hope for is a no decision. So first and second, nobody out. Shirley to Kent Herbeck. Lefty on lefty matchup. That's a 3-7, and that's a strikeout right there. Big deal there. Right-hander, he would have walked and it would have been bases loaded. So Shirley gets a huge strikeout. And here's Gary Gaetti. Shirley looking for that double play. 1-7. Does not find it. It's a 1-10 home run. That's a 3. Gary Gaetti. Big 3-run bomb for Gaetti. 1-10 is a home run on a 1-7 versus lefties. And 3 is a goner. A right-hander, he still have a home run, so it didn't matter in this case. So Gary Gaetti, a 3-run bomb, the old Earl Weaver 3-run homer. And again, all these runs should be unearned, but you can't assume a double play. So this run here for the walk is earned, and the home run is earned. So 2 of the runs are earned. 1 is unearned. But realistically, all 3 runs should be unearned, although not officially. So Gary Gaetti hits his 6th home run of the season. RBIs 24, 25, and 26. And the Twins take a 4-1 lead, rather. Hello, Triple G. 4-1 lead. And here's Roy Smalley. Turn around bat right-handed, 4-6, and that's a walk. Seem to get a lot of walks after home runs. Seems to be the thing. Smalley will not be held. Here's Brunansky. .64, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-7. That's a 15. It'll be a fly out to right field. 2 down. And it'll bring up Salas, the catcher, lefty on lefty matchup. .26, and that's a ground ball to second to end the inning. But 3 big runs come in. We can close the book now on Hudson. Once I go to the computer and get all the final numbers, we'll put those down. He is on the hook for the loss unless the Yankees can rally. And Smithson actually qualifies for the win now. So Hudson's going to go 5+, give up 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 were earned, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Smithson went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits and a run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And the Colonel, Joe Klink, will be coming on. But Smithson does qualify for the win. Those runs, he inherits those runs from pitching the 5th inning. So they are credited to him. So the Colonel, Joe Klink, going to come out. And he'll be facing Don Mattingly. Donnie Baseball, Pasqua, and Ward. 2 out of 3 are left-handed. So we'll go to the computer and get the numbers on Mr. Klink. And the Colonel on the replay is 0-0, no saves, 2.84 earned run average, 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. And right behind him, because he's really a 1 or 2 batter pitcher, he's not a guy that's going to go a lot of innings or a lot of batters faced. So right behind him, the Twins have right-hander Juan Berenguer. loosening the bullpen. Going to get down some of these righties maybe. But there's a lot of lefties in the lineup, so they'll try to go let Klink go as long as possible. 5-7, and that's a strikeout. He strikes out Donnie Baseball to start the inning. That'll send it to Pasqua. Five, 8, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Newman. He's a 3 E10. 3 and a 15, he'll get to that. E10. E10 and a 10. Should be no problem whatsoever. E10 and a 10, there's no problem. So good play for Newman. 2 down for Gary Ward. 5-8, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're right back to Newman again. 3 and a 9, he should still get to that, I would assume. 3 and a 9, he does. And again, the E10, he's got to avoid. I'm sorry, he's an E10. So he's got to avoid 4, 16, 17, and 18. Which he does. Barely. That's a 13. He barely avoids it, but he does make the play. And Klink is going to go 1 inning. That's going to be it for Klink because he just didn't be realistic. He just did not a lot of innings. So I want to try to be true to that as much as possible. So Klink's going to go 1 inning. And he's not going to give up anything that gets a strikeout. And Juan Berenguer will be the new pitcher for the Twins in the 7th inning. Juan Berenguer. Bob Shirley is going to come back out and start the top of the 7th, facing Gagne, Newman, and Bush. And maybe a pinch hitter for Bush because he didn't face many lefties. So top of the 7th, Twins hold a 4-1 lead. There's Gagne, 110 against the left-hander is a fly to center field, and that's 1 away. Ricky with yet another put out. 1 down, and here's Newman. 6-3, switch hitter batting right-handed is a fly ball right field X. That's Pasqua. Pasqua with the right field X, and he is a 3 E5. 3 and a 4, that's trouble. That's going to drop almost assuredly. 3 and a 4 is a single. So we'll check for an error. E5, he's got to avoid 4, 14, and 18. Which he does, but it's going to drop for a base hit for Al Newman. Newman is aboard. With that -5 hold, though, I just don't think he's going to try anything, not with some of the other players coming up to bat. Twins will make a move. Randy Bush will be called back, and they will bring in Mark Davidson to pinch hit. Will the Twins? He is one of their right-handed pinch hitters that they have available. They have Dan Gladden as well, but they're going to go with Mark Davidson. Davidson will stay in the game to play right field. He's a much better defender as well, plus he's right-handed. So Davidson will pinch hit in the 7th and play right field in the 7th as he comes in for Randy Bush after the Newman single. Let's get the numbers on Davidson on the replay. See what he's done so far. On the replay, Davidson is hitting .238, 1 homer, 4 driven in. He hit .267 real world. Nothing on the Havoc. Here is pitch to Davidson, 1-4. Ground ball third base, it'll be a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. Turned by the Yankees to end the inning. So Davidson, not what they were envisioning when they brought him in to pinch hit, but he is a much superior defender to Randy Bush in the outfield. So Davidson now is a 2. Well, he's a 2 and a -2 arm versus a 4 and a +1. So that's why he is in there. So on the computer, we'll have to make that move officially to put Davidson in right field. And we got to bring in the right-handed reliever, Juan Berenguer. On the replay, Juan Berenguer is 0-0 with a save, 5.30 earned run average, 19 innings pitched, 20 hits, 6 walks, and 23 strikeouts. So let's look at Juan Berenguer. As he will be pitching the 7th inning. And scheduled here is a Washington, Pagliarulo, and Tollison. But before we do any of that, it is the bottom of the 7th, and as tradition, we will go to the 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game. I'm going to stretch with everybody, and if you want to stretch yourself, feel free as we listen to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. All right, 7th inning stretch is in the books. And we move along now to the bottom of the 7th. And it'll be Claudel Washington, Mike Pagliarulo, and Tollison to take on Juan Berenguer. Oops, a pen here. Make sure that's handy. So Berenguer facing Claudel. 6-5 to the left-hander, and that's trouble. One's a triple, anything else is a double. That'll be a leadoff double for Claudel Washington. And the Yankees looking to get back in this thing. Here's Pagliarulo. He homered his last time up. By 4, left-handed, is a ballpark single check, 1-7, but that's a 15, so it's a fly to left. With a C, the runner has to hold. He can't go anywhere. 1 away, and that takes us to Wayne Tollison. He did single and steal the bases last time up, did Mr. Tollison. 6-12, and that's a fly ball left field X. We're looking at Brunansky. He's a 2E4. 2 and an 8, he'll get to it. E4 is the question. E4 and a 14 should be okay. 15 is bad, but not a 14. And a 2 and an 8 is an F2. Would have been a sac fly to runner been on third, but not on second. So the fly to left takes care of that. 2 down. And now Cerrone, your scheduled hitter, but do you let him hit, or do you bring in possibly a pinch hitter and somebody else to play catcher? That's the decision that Lou Piniella is going to have to ponder over. If we look at their bench, they do have Winfield, of course. Don't have any lefties, though. Everybody they have on the bench is right-handed. Joel Skinner could come in and catch if they pinch hit for Cerrone. You could bring in Skinner to catch. But to pinch hit, you got Winfield, you got Henry Cotto, you got Ron Kittle, and you got Len Sakata. That's it. So that is their bench. And I don't know if you want to use Winfield at this particular point in time. You could, I guess, if you wanted to, and then bring in Skinner to catch. Boy, tough decision here. You could bring in Kittle. If you didn't want to bring in Winfield, you could do Kittle. They're actually going to bring in Ron Kittle. So Ron Kittle will pinch hit, and then Skinner will stay in the game to catch. They're going to try to save Winfield for maybe a ninth inning situation. So Kittle will pick up a bat and pinch hit for Cerrone. And then Skinner will catch in the eighth. So let's get the numbers on Kittle on the replay. I'll bring him in on the computer as a pinch hitter. See what he can do. Kittle is hitting .316, 6 homers, 16 driven in. He had 277 in real world, but he's having a really good replay. And Berenguer now with 2 outs, clutch situation for Kittle. In the clutch, he loses a hit on 1-3. Everything else, he's neutral. Berenguer Kittle. 6-5, and that is a 1-6 double. Anything else, he flies to left. That's a 16. It's a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So it didn't matter. It came off Berenguer's card, so it didn't matter who we had. If we had Winfield or Kittle, either one, it would have failed. So nothing doing there for the Yankees. They leave the off double Washington on base. And they get 3 flyouts to left field in a row. So coming in to catch will be Joel Skinner for the Yankees. He will be the new catcher. Now, as far as pitching, do they want to come back with Shirley or do they want to use someone else? Twins have Puckett, Herbeck, and Gaetti. 2 out of 3 are right-handed. The Yankees could go to Tim Stoddard here. And that's what they will do. They will bring in Tim Stoddard. He will relieve Shirley. Tim Stoddard will be your new pitcher for the Yankees. Right-hander. He will come in and pitch the 8th inning. And on the replay, Stoddard is 2-2 with no saves, 2.95 earned run average, 18 innings pitched, 18 hits, 4 walks, and 23 strikeouts. And he will be facing Puckett, Herbeck, and Gaetti to start things off here in the top of the 8th. Let's get the numbers on Shirley, finish out his results. He goes 2 innings, and I'll clarify it on the computer so I won't make a mistake. I'll let the computer do the heavy lifting, I should say, and give me all his stats for the game for Bob Shirley. Could have done it manually, but might as well. I got the computer up, might as well use it. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, and a run, which was earned, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. So that's the total for Shirley. And now Stoddard will be coming on to face Kirby Puckett here in the top of the 8th. Twins lead at 4-1. They're looking to take 2 of the 3 of the series and win the road series with the Yankees, 2 out of 3. It would certainly help the Brewers and the Blue Jays. So Puckett, Stoddard to Puckett. That's a 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Stoddard. Good start for Tim Stoddard as he takes care of Puckett. Now, let's see. Check something here real quick. I don't want to go too far off the edge. So I might bring these back here so you can see the cards better. I don't want to if I get too far off to the right here, start losing that right-hand corner. So we'll flip it over here for now. Here's Herbeck. 5-7. Left-handed, ground ball, second base X. Randolph is a 2E17. 2 and a 3, that's trouble. But he still might get to it. We'll see. 2 and a 3, he might still get to this. And he does. 2 and a 3 is a G3. How about that? Henderson and Randolph's a E17. So 6-15, 3 and 18. And no problems there for Willie Randolph. He makes the play, 2 down. And that's going to take us to Gary Gaetti, the G-man, who hit the big home run his last time up. His 3-run homer has put the Twins in the lead back in the 6th inning. So definitely some good stuff there for the Twins. He's up now with the bases empty, however. Hello, Colin. Stoddard to Gaetti for 7, and that is a 1-3 single. Anything else he lines to short, he will line it to Tollison, and that ends the inning. Nothing doing for the Twins off of Stoddard, but they maintain a 4-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And Berenguer will come back out and pitch the 8th inning. Top of the order for the Yankees, it'll be Henderson, Randolph, and Mattingly. Due up for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 8th. That's a 1-5, and Ricky 1-11 is a home run, but that's a 20. He'll settle with a double. Leadoff double for Ricky Henderson. Here comes Willie Randolph. It's a 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. We're checking the pass ball rating on Mark Salas, which is a 14. 14 for a pass ball rating. And that will be a pass ball that will send Ricky Henderson to third base with nobody out on the pass ball. But with a 3-run lead, they will play the infield back. They'll give up the run to get the out. So basically all Randolph needs to do is have a decent ground ball somewhere maybe. 2-11, and he's not going to do is going to pop it up to second base. That won't get the run home. 1 away. And here comes Donnie Baseball. Surely he can get the run in, you would think. 2-7, and he does. It's a ground ball to second. That will get had the infield been in, that would have gotten through for a base hit. But since they were back, it'll be the run-scoring ground out as Henderson scores to cut the lead to 4-2. But now this 2-out space is empty. It is an RBI ground out for Mattingly, but it's kind of a disappointment for him. He was looking for more. And here's Pasqua. 2-out space is clear. That's a 6-7, and that is a single to left field. So the inning continues. And here's Gary Ward. Ward is your batter. Pasqua not being held, another 2. Another pass ball chance. It's 1-14. Salas has given up his second pass ball of the inning. Not sure what his problem is, why he's having issues, but 2 pass balls in the same inning, that's pretty bad. Now it's a clutch situation for Gary Ward, and in the clutch he gains a hit on 2-10. It's a 4-7. Ground ball shortstop X, that's Gagne, and Gagne's a 2E24. 2 and an 8, he'll get to it. E24 is the question. The answer is 11. E24 and an 11 at a shortstop position, and there is no 11, so it's a good play for Gagne, and the Twins will get out of the inning, allowing just the 1 run. So we go to the 9th. It is now 4-2 Twins, and that'll be it for Berenguer. They will bring in Reardon to pitch the 9th to try to get the save, assuming it stays a save situation. Stoddard will pitch the top of the 9th, and he'll be facing Smalley. It'll be Smalley, Smalley, Bernansky, and Salas due up here in the top of the 9th. 1-10, and that's a single to left field for Roy Smalley. We make it a pinch runner because Smalley is slow as molasses, so Twins will be looking to the bench to see who they're going to bring in. Dan Gladden to pinch run. So Dan Mann from Gladden will do the pinch running for the Twins. If I can find his car. Oh, no, actually it won't be. Will it be somebody else? Actually, they're going to use Lombardozzi. They want to save Glad in case they need him to hit. Lombardozzi's a 14, and he's also a C. Or do they want to bring? Well, they might bring in Gladden because that might force them to hold the runner and everything else. So let's take a look again at Gladden and see what his numbers are as far as steals and whatnot. Assuming I can find his card in this massive stuff here. Where are you, Dan Man from Gladden? Gotta be in here somewhere. That's only probably strat cards. Both teams look alike. There he is, at the bottom of everything else. Dan Glad's a 17, plus he's an ace stealer, which means he needs to be held. So they're going to bring in Dan Gladden to pinch run for Roy Smalley. It'll be Dan Gladden. And he'll stay in the game to be the DH. So he's going to pinch run in the 9th. So that means he's got to be held. He's got that star there. He might even try to get a steal. Stoddard is a +4. And the new catcher, Skinner, his arm is a 0. So it's a +4. So it's definitely a good chance for the Twins to try to tack onto this lead with a stolen base. So let's bring in on the computer Gladden to pinch run. And he's going to be attempting to get the lead. No question about it. Gladden needs a 4, 5, or 6 to get the lead. He gets a 6, he's going to get the lead, so he's going to go 18 minus 2 from Hill is a 16, +4 is a 20. So basically a 1 to 19, he's going to score, or not score, he's going to steal it. Let's check the T rating on Skinner. If it's high, we might just hold the ball. He's a T8, so they're not going to risk the throwing error. He's just going to go. He's going to steal. They don't want to risk chucking that ball into center field. So rather than risk a T rating on just a 5% throwout chance, they will let Gladden steal. And Gladden will stay in the game as DH. But now he's at second base. He will be held at second base. And here's Bernansky as Stoddard's trying to get out of the mess. That's a 4-8, and that's a walk. And that's going to load, or not load the bases, but put first and second for Mark Salas, the catcher. Wonder if they might go for a pinch hitter again. Somebody can bunt, perhaps, because with nobody out, it's a perfect time to bunt. I don't like to bunt a lot, but this situation I think might call for it. So let's check the bench again. See what they got left. They have Lombardozzi. Let's see what kind of bunter Lombardozzi is. He might be a decent bunter, possibly. Where are you, Lombardozzi? There you are. Yep, he's an A bunter. So we're going to pinch hit for Salas with Lombardozzi, and then they will bring in Laudner to catch. So we're going to have a pinch hitter, Lombardozzi. His sole purpose in this game is to bunt. So Lombardozzi pinch hitting here in the 9th, and then Laudner will catch in the 9th as well. So Lombardozzi's going to bunt. He's an A bunter. Check the havoc. Nothing going on with that. All right, the bunt's going to be sent to 4. That means the bunt is going to go to Don Mattingly at first base. He was an A bunter, but the corners were in, so he's a B bunter. So basically a 1 through 9 is a good bunt. Anything 10 or higher is trouble. That's a 9. It's a good bunt. Sacrifice bunt. So Mattingly will just tag Lombardozzi coming up the line, 3 unassisted on a sacrifice. And that'll put runners at second and third with only 1 out. And the infield now will have to come in. Greg Gagne batting, but he will have to come in. Infield will come in against Gagne. Runners at second and third, 1 out. It's already 4-2. They can't give up any more runs. Infield is in. Stoddard, 1-3 is a pop up to second, and that holds everybody right there. big out to get. And now here's Al Newman, switch hitting second baseman. Switch hitting second baseman. This is Strat-O-Matic. All right, so Al Newman, clutch situation, infield back to normal now with 2 outs. Runners at second and third. In the clutch, he gains a hit on 3-10. Everything else, and he gains a hit on 2-2. Everything else is neutral. So nothing was on the strategy roll or the habit. Now here's the pitch to Newman. 6-3, switch hitter batting left. Is a ground ball. Pitcher X are going right to Stoddard. He is a 3 E16, so this is a huge play for Stoddard. 3-15, he'll get to it, but now the E16 is in question. Will he make an error? Pitcher, E16. There's a 3 on a was a G2. So E16 for the pitcher. He's got to avoid 4, 9, 12, 16, and 17. Those are the numbers to avoid. And that is an 11. That is an 11. So he will make the play. Throw him out, and that's going to end the inning. So Stoddard gets out of it. Yankees get out of it. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th we go. Last chance for the Yankees. They'll have to do it against the Twins closer, Jeff Reardon. And we also have to have Tim Laudner come in and catch. He will catch in the 9th as a pinch hit for Salas. So they will need that. But more importantly, Jeff Reardon coming in to pitch. So Reardon will be coming on. Before we do that, we'll clean up the numbers on Berenguer and Stoddard as well. Make these changes. It takes a little bit extra time to get through this thing, especially on the computer. When I'm trying to score it on the computer at the same time, it takes a couple extra seconds to get that done. So we put Laudner in the game to catch, and we bring in Jeff Reardon. All right, let's go to the box score and get the results, stats for Berenguer and for Stoddard. Stoddard goes 2 innings. He's going to give up 1 hit, no runs, a walk and a strikeout. Berenguer, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, and nothing else. And now we turn it over to Jeff Reardon, and Reardon will be facing Washington, Tollison, and the catcher Skinner. But Winfield is still on the bench. If we get the tying run to the plate, they will bring in Winfield to pinch hit. So he's in the wings ready. Let's get the numbers on Reardon. On the replays, 1-1 with 4 saves, a 2.84 earned run average, 13 innings pitched, 10 hits, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So Claudel Washington facing Jeff Reardon, bottom of the 9th, 4-2 Twins. That's a 4-5, and that's a fly ball to center field, and Puckett will make the catch. 1 away, and here is Pagliarulo, followed by Tollison. Pagliarulo. 3-10 for Pags. That's a ballpark blast, but that's a 16. He needed a 9 or less. That's a 16. It's a deep fly to right, and they're 2 away. And now here's Tollison. And they're going to go ahead and bring in Winfield regardless because they just want to get him in the game. They don't want to end the game without him getting a chance to swing the bat as a pinch hitter. So they will bring in Winfield as a pinch hitter. Dave Winfield, pinch hitting for Tollison. We'll get the numbers on Winfield. As soon as we bring him in on the computer. Winfield. And if it goes extra innings, they can bring in Len Sakata to play shortstop. So Winfield on the replay is hitting 256, 5 homers, 17 driven in. He at 275 real world. Trying to get something started for the Yankees. 2 outs and the bases are clear against Jeff Reardon. 6-5, and that's a strikeout, and there's your ball game. Forgot to write in this is Winfield pinch hitting. But the ball game is over as Reardon strikes out Winfield to close it out and earn the save. Twins win it by the score of 4-2. The loss will go to Hudson. The win will go to Smithson, and he will be now 2-3 with the win. Reardon with the save. That'll be his 5th save of the season. And happy campers are the Brewers and the Blue Jays, who catch up a half a game on the Yankees. Yankees dropped to 20-10, and now all teams have lost at least 10 games. They're 20-10. The Twins improved to 13-17. And go to our box score just to get anything else that might be officially out there to look at. Yankees and Twins both left 6 runners on base. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Twins. 2 runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Yankees. Smithson winner 2-3. Hudson takes his first loss. He's now 4-1. And Reardon his 5th save. So the next game in the replay will be game number 201, and we'll be at Cleveland, a mistake by the lake. It'll be Greg Swindell against Danny Jackson, a couple of left-handers. That'll be game number 201 from Cleveland, and that will probably be tomorrow at some point. Don't know when. Might be the morning, might be whenever. You never know. This evening, I'm planning on doing Inside Pitch, 1977 National League in that replay, and it'll be the Dodgers traveling a little bit south to take on San Diego. Dodgers and Padres, that will be tonight at some point. Randy Jones on the mound for the Padres. Not sure who's on the mound for the Dodgers just yet. I don't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic, lunchtime Strat-O-Matic, so to speak. And Twins, if you're a Yankee, not so much of a Yankee fan, and you were happy about this game. Twins held on, and they actually take 2 or 3 from the Yankees on the road. I'll tell you what, on this replay, on this American League replay, the visiting teams actually have a winning record, which is what, one of the things that really, I guess there's no way for Strat to give a home field advantage other than batting last. But the home teams are 97-103 on the replay. 97-103 for home teams. So the home teams are not doing so well. Yankees with the loss dropped to 20-10. I stand corrected. Milwaukee only has 9 losses, but they only have 19 wins. So Milwaukee is in a virtual tie with the Yankees, and Toronto has climbed up within a game and a half as they are 17-10. Twins with the win go to 13-17, and they pull within 6 games of first place Oakland. And they're actually only 3 games under what they did in real world at 16-14 at this pace. So they're not too far off of that. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you have a wonderful Monday. Stay cool out there. If you're in one of the areas of the country where the heat wave is striking, stay cool out there. Hey, Captain, didn't see you sneak in at the tail end there. So stay cool out there, folks. And if you're so inclined, you can check out the channel tonight around 8 o'clock and watch Inside Pitch, Dodgers and Padres, 1977 style. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.